Here's a shocking truth. American consumers are footing more than half the bill for today's tariffs, and it's reshaping how we shop, save, and spend. Goldman Sachs has just upped its estimates, revealing that the burden on households is far heavier than initially thought. But here's where it gets controversial. While policymakers debate the merits of these trade measures, everyday shoppers are already feeling the pinch, and they're fighting back in surprising ways. The hidden cost of tariffs. Who's really paying? Goldman Sachs' latest analysis paints a stark picture. U.S. consumers are now shouldering over 50% of the total cost of tariffs, a sharp rise from just 22% earlier this year. This shift comes as the administration ramps up tariffs on Chinese goods, pushing some rates beyond 100%. For businesses, this volatility means uncertainty in sourcing and costs, while for consumers, it translates to higher prices at the checkout. And this is the part most people miss. It's not just about the sticker price. It's about the ripple effects on spending habits and financial decisions. Merchants point fingers. Consumers feel the heat. Retailers aren't shy about blaming tariffs for price hikes. According to PYMNTS intelligence, 1 in 3 U.S. consumers has heard a retailer explicitly cite tariffs as the reason for higher costs, while another 25% have heard vague references to increased expenses. Behind the scenes, 90% of goods firms have raised prices in the past year, with nearly a third of middle-market companies increasing prices or renegotiating with suppliers. Some are even discontinuing tariff-affected products or building domestic supply chains, a clear sign that businesses are scrambling to adapt. Trading down, cutting back, and delaying purchases. Tariffs are no longer a distant policy debate. They're a daily reality for shoppers. Over 80% of consumers have already adjusted their spending in anticipation of higher prices, with the average person making nearly 5 changes to their buying habits. For instance, 44% of shoppers are trading down, switching from branded to generic goods, or cutting non-essential purchases. In the grocery and dining sectors, many are opting to eat at home rather than dine out. It's a survival strategy, but it raises a bigger question. How long can consumers keep absorbing these costs before demand craters? The balancing act for businesses. Companies are now walking a tightrope. How much of the tariff burden can they absorb before it eats into their margins? And how much can they pass on without alienating customers? The Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis warns that the impact won't be uniform or immediate, adding another layer of complexity. Meanwhile, consumers are treating tariffs as a new normal, factoring them into their budgets and rethinking their priorities. For banking, payments, and commerce leaders, this is a wake-up call. Tariffs are no longer just a policy issue. They're a critical factor in consumer behavior and pricing strategies. The controversial question: are tariffs worth the cost? Here's where it gets contentious. Are the intended benefits of tariffs outweighing the pain felt by consumers and businesses? While some argue they protect domestic industries, others warn they're fueling inflation and stifling growth. What's undeniable is that tariffs are reshaping the economy in real time, forcing both companies and consumers to adapt. For businesses, the choices they make now, whether to absorb costs, raise prices, or rethink their models, will be a test of their resilience. For consumers, it's about survival in a pricier world. Your turn. What do you think? Are tariffs a necessary evil, or are they doing more harm than good? How are you adjusting your spending in response to higher prices? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark a conversation about the real-world impact of these policies.